so this video here is associated with the fourth content or the fourth element within your SBA. After the location of study, we have the methodology. Now students, when you are doing the methodology, you have to be very clear. All right? You are simply talking about three things. Where did you go? When did you go? And how was data collected? So when, where, how. My advice to you students, when you are indicating when, you can say when, put a colon, and you can simply give the date, and you can also indicate the time. All right, for example, assuming today is the 15th of February, assuming you did your SBA on the 15th of February, assuming, okay, you can say February 15th, 2021, as an example. This is not what, of course, you will be writing. And indicate also the time frame, put in brackets, between, say, 8 to 12 or whatever the case may be. All right, close brackets, full stop. That is when. Where did you go? All right. Now, when you are saying where, you have to indicate your locations. Very briefly, marks will be given for being concise, but at the same time, very, very clear. All right. And last but not least, we have how was data collected. Now, first and foremost, you all should know how data was collected because you all are in fact doing your SBA. But I'll give you a general outline. I'll give you a general outline of how it will actually be associated. Now, in terms of how you collected data, you have to indicate that for the respective points, don't beat around the bush, right? You decide to have specific number of readings, all right, at specific time frames for the two locations. You had your materials, such as your notepad, a phone or a stopwatch for time, all right? You'll also have a thermometer. You cannot forget your thermometer. You understand? So all your materials are in fact there. All right? You were to ensure that you wear proper PPE. Well, when I say PPE, I mean proper masks, sorry. Me cannot really. Proper mask for protective purposes because we have to acknowledge the fact that it was during COVID time. All right, so usually what I indicated earlier, you can possibly do this. But like I'm saying, I'm giving an example. All right, you have to be very clear. What I actually told you all before is that if you are in fact gathering data, you must ensure that you start a particular time. Remember, you have to also acclimatize your thermometer for maybe a couple seconds, right, in the open area or within the shade. Remember, you have two locations. One is in the open, direct sunlight, and one is under the vegetative cover, which is the shade. You have to ensure the distances are relatively close by. Okay? Indicate that they are in fact within whatever dimensions or distance they are. For instance, location 1 is situated approximately 150 meters away from location 2. All right? And indicate exactly what you did. Okay? How you collected data. You don't have to mention time anymore, all right, because we already understood that. But just indicate the major points and the major parameters and the actual way you conducted the SBA. All right, make sure you have to give readings at eye level for proper readings. All right, make sure that the thermometer was not lying down. You always keep the thermometer in a somewhat of an upright direction, position, especially when you're walking to and from the actual locations themselves. All right. After the readings were taken, they were documented immediately on your notepad. All right, pen and paper, whatever the case may be. And it depends on what intervals you use in your SBA. Indicate what intervals were involved between the reading sets. So one set is actually for the two locations. So what I usually would have done at 9:30, I would have already started get ready to get my readings from my first location. So I'll read that off the bat one time. Then I will quickly, briskly walk across to my second location. All right, remember there's a time parameter we're dealing with. Take your reading, right, using the thermometer. But you have to make sure the thermometer is allowed to acclimatize for maybe about 20 seconds or whatever. So you decide how you see fit. It is depending upon how you conducted the SBA. Not about me, it's your SBA. So it depends on how you collected your information. Your how would be based upon what you did. All right, so like again, to reiterate quickly, the methodology is when did you go, when, where, and how. All right, when and where, how, it doesn't matter which how you want to put it down. Just make sure you are concise, make sure you are specific, and at the same time, make sure you are clear. Do not beat around the bush, students. All right, don't write no big, long essay and whatnot. The objective here is to be as clear as possible, as simple as possible, as concise as possible, but at the same time, be mindful of grammatical errors, punctuations. All of these things will account for your SBA as well. All right, students, I'll see you. So as time progresses, I'll give you an indication like how you could actually go about with the other aspects of the SBA. So this is actually for this week as well.